Alright, so now that we have configured the cluster and we have checked by failing it over from node 1 to node 2, that is working. So now let us proceed with the Exchange installation. So the very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a group for MSDTC. So let us rename this guy. We'll name this as MSDTC. And we'll create a new resource, which is going to be the IP address. And let us name it MSDTC IP. And we have used it till 1.8, so the next available IP is 1.9. So we will use the public network. Again, we'll create a new resource. Let us name this as MSDTC name. And let's name this as MSDTC. This time we will choose DTC, Distributed Transaction Coordinator. And here we will associate the disk and the name. I'm doing this online. And we'll name a group for EVS, Exchange Virtual Server. And we can move L into EVS. We can delete this group. And let us rename this as secure. Alright, now we are done with this, so now we can proceed with our Exchange installation for 2003. Before we proceed with Exchange installation, we need to make sure that we take care of all the prerequisites. So, if you're installing, when you're installing Exchange for the very first time, the good thing about that is that it will tell you what all steps you need to do. Since I already know a few of the prerequisites, so I'll be taking care of all of them right now. So the very first thing that I will do is add Windows component. We need to make sure that we add SMTP, NNTP. I will show you all that. ASP.NET, DTC Access, then IIS, to make sure that we install NNTP, SMTP, WW should be installed, and definitely IIS Manager. So click on OK, and most likely it will ask us for a CD. It does. Let us put in the CD. Same thing for 1.7. Alright. The next thing that we may do is we are going to run ForestPrep and DomainPrep. So for that I will log into 1.3, and also we need to do DC add just to see the DC domain controller diagnostic and NTP network diagnostic. So when I'm performing the Exchange installation, all those steps will be there. Meanwhile, what all I will do is just install the support tools over there for 1.3. So let us see what I'm talking about. Alright, so this is done in 1.6 and 1.7 both, the components I have added. So now in 1.6, let us put in the CD for Exchange 2003. So this is my for deploy first Exchange 2000 server, this is my first server. New Exchange 2000 installation. So see, it gives you all the prerequisites. We need to make sure that if it's Windows 2000, it should be Service Pack 3. I need to verify an NNTP, SMTP, www, and all those things. Although ASP.NET is installed. And the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to run DC diag and NDiag. So to do that, that's why I install support tools. So you will see program files, support tools, ACD here, so I just go to command prompt and then run this command. So we are good. Similarly, we'll do the network diagnostic. Yeah. Everything seems to be fast. Nothing has failed. Command complete successfully, so we are good. Alright, so we'll go back to 1.6. Now we have done this. Now we'll run ForestPrep. So if we happen to read about ForestPrep, the ForestPrep option extends the active directory schema to include exchange-specific classes and attributes. And so it tells how to run and where to run also. The ForestPrep also creates the container object for the Exchange 2003 organization active directory. We must run ForestPrep once in the active directory forest, the domain where the schema master resides. By default, the schema master runs on first Windows domain control install forest. Set up checks whether you are ForestPrep domain. If not, set up tells to which domain contains the schema master. Okay. So for this, what I will do is that I will insert the Exchange CD to our domain controller. Says in progress. Things will do some reason. It's not letting me to. Let us check. That was successful. Okay, it wasn't. That's fine. Alright, so now I can mount the ISO. So now we are gonna click on next, next, and so while now this will take some time. Meanwhile, the forest prep is going on. I will just pause the video. Alright, so the forest prep is complete. So now we will run domain prep. This is not going to take much time. That's fine. Okay, that's done. Let's finish. Now we can go on 1.6. Now we can run the setup for Exchange Server 2003. Click on next, next. So here is that where you put the organization name. By default, it comes with the first organization. So I will just keep it default right now. And so now the Exchange installation itself is going to take some time, but not a long time. On cluster, it doesn't take so long to install Exchange. It's going to take some time, though, maybe 5 minutes. So I will just pause the video meanwhile. Alright, so the installation is complete on node 1. Now we'll perform the same thing at node 2. Oops, it's not going to be the first. Actually, it would be Exchange 2003 and additional server. Now, I have already taken care of this. We need not to run DCDAG and NetDAG and DomainPrep and ForestPrep again, since we have already done that. So all I need to do is just run the setup. So again, meanwhile the installation is going on. We'll just pause the video. Alright, so the Exchange installation is complete on node 2 as well. So the next thing that we are going to work on is the Exchange virtual server cluster. So right now, node 2 is the active owner for all the groups. So in EBS, I will create a new resource. That is the IP address. We'll name name this as EVS IP. We'll give this an IP 192.168.1.10, the next available IP in our range. So this is going to be the IP of our Exchange server, the cluster Exchange server 1.10. We'll create another new resource for the network name. And over here we are going to add the IP. And this is going to be the name of our cluster Exchange server. So this is going to be the name of our Exchange server. So let me name this as Exchange 2K3. I just want to make sure it's less than 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we are good. And we'll just make sure to click on Enable Kerberos. I'm going to create another new resource, and this is going to be our system attendant, the Exchange system attendant. And over here we will add the name and the disk. And that's okay. That's fine. Default, finish. Oh, it's we need to bring the resources up, the resource name, EVS name. So click on cancel, and let us bring all these now first of all up. And now we can do the same thing. Alright, so that's it. I will stop the video over here now.